Alright, so Akwatia Kesiem Koma Obibiara Wenyabra Oshe right here on this particular platform. We are live and we'll be live for the next 2 hours. So it's just a continuation of news back to back. Into a shower, so video where please subscribe. If not subscribe, you can also leave your comments to read and then we'll engage. News near baby. And if you saw the title that Stephen Appiah is dead, yes, Stephen Appiah is dead. If you saw the title said BlackStars Stephen Appiah is dead, it is true. BlackStars Stephen Appiah is dead. Obibiara or say asem na make an no creepy. They should sue Pinaxtv, to sue me myself nana. Why? Because what we are saying here is the truth. So that is exactly what is really going on. So answer nanom yen sha here with this particular breaking news at Abekanyes. Now, for those of you who know, yeah, that's sorry as a news air trendy on social media. Number one. For the past 24 hours, the untimely death of Stephen Appiah. So the question was, what really went on? Because Ghana Web even confirmed this. Graphic Online also confirmed this. So the big question is, how would we lose someone as prolific and young as BlackStars player and also BlackStars coach, Stephen Appiah? Then the issue was, okay, there's more details to it. Now, as some Americans say, it's not na me previews into me bo mitima can seven and yeah, there are 2 screens. So this is the current trends on Twitter. Current number 1 Stephen Appiah on all trend, and it's been trending you see RIP Stephen Appiah. So this is where the report is coming from. Apparently Stephen Appiah you name the say or former BlackStars captain near the and you know Stephen Appiah if anything national team. Apparently was Stephen Appiah also about BlackStars nibi. Was Stephen Appiah also your coach, also your captain. Until when we all saw it, the Ministry of Sports Obia a posty eulogizing with the family of Stephen Appiah and whole information about say. Unfortunately, it is not the Stephen Appiah we know of. Unfortunately, it's not the Stephen Appiah we know because Obia but then it is another Stephen Appiah who is also very popular, and this is the Stephen Appiah we are talking about now. For us to get a vivid understanding and also more details into it, pulley one of this particular website, Pulse Ghana, which is very credible. Into which has here, we'll share the title of what Pulse Ghana posted here. Or says Stephen Appiah confirmed dead. Park Academy Mons, okay, and this is just one of the many things I will call Google right now. Or more says Stephen Appiah is dead. Into Sha or say Ghana footballer Stephen Appiah, the respected Park Academy boss and grassroots football advocate, following his sudden death in Kumasi. So apparently this particular man I can say so I'm can edit to Jano or no so your friend is Stephen Appiah. He is also Stephen Appiah. Okay, Google is even confirmed. Say yes, or no, so your friend is Stephen Appiah. But then we at a very young age, and age now we will know. And now for Eka say, you can't one more contribute to Ghana footballer Stephen Appiah Eka. Stephen Appiah led a revolution. Stephen Appiah, your friend is saying, was one of the few people or Moka said, no, let us change the status quo or did the moja and everything that he had at Emma, the BlackStars and also the Ghana football team. And Untiana, it is a new one ascending shockwaves to a lot of people. Now, if you are joining us once again, Stephen Appiah is dead. Send a bayanko yes, no debi. In fact, Google cry now about Google. Let's just put this on the screens. Or say Ghanaian let's make this bigger. Obo Stephen Appiah, no kasa the passes away at Traso. Into Pulse Ghana, Stephen Appiah confirmed dead. Stephen Appiah confirmed dead. Omuina can Stephen Appiah. So the Stephen Appiah na ye can 17 or no na you pull it up the stats on the reason why Obia air cast away. Into shall say Ghana football is grieving the sudden death, okay, of Stephen Appiah, a well-respected football administrator and general manager of Division 1 League side Park Academy. So Division 1 League side, popular academy, find a Park Academy, general manager of that particular Division 1 team, I find Stephen Appiah or no. And information about say we will know. Yes, also to us, I'll say Appiah, who was also an influential member of the Ashanti Regional Football Association, passed away on Wednesday after being rushed to the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi. So we are learning, say, this particular Stephen Appiah, he died just this particular Wednesday. At the end of the year, as on Philip will be, rushing the Konfanochi. His passing has left the football community in shock, especially those who knew him from his deep commitment to developing young players. Before taking charge of Park Academy, Appiah served with distinction at Achikin FC and Future Stars FC, where he built a reputation as a passionate advocate for grassroots football. It's a part to say Ghana football, and it's also sorry preoccupé. Now akobo Aduana FC, now akobo Kotoko Hearts, now akwa national team debi. You started from Division 1. Near Kosa, uye lucky akupi under 17. Uye lucky akupi BlackStars. Uye lucky clubbing team and our common on him. One of the people they kind of almost cemented the grassroots football. Omotete yenuanom kudus mu nyane party mu nyina omafa ni sem this particular man kana sem Stephen Appiah. So he's very influential, he's very known or popular. In fact, Stephen Appiah in as much as people talk say BlackStars captain a man for cast this guy cry kuma so a popular class since Stephen Appiah na say be nyina yenim na ye fi se wewu no. It's not part of say new no. It really shocking is really shocking people. Osha or say under his leadership, Park Academy became a hub for nurturing promising talent, many of whom have gone on to achieve success in sport. And the people we know, okay, the people we know are the heights of football. The top football team, Arsenal and so, don't want for Branty in him. Or shall see tributes pour in for Stephen Appiah. Clubs, officials, players across the country have been paying tribute, praising him as a selfless leader, those whose vision and dedication left a lasting legacy. Elmina Sharks sent their condolences to the club in a statement on Facebook. The brief statement read, in the part to say, in Kofo Esu sa Abranti FN Stephen Appiah. Aduana FC crime no kase crime. They posted a picture of him. I just say on Facebook so omusu. So this is the man who shared the Aduana post. So Saturday, our thoughts and prayers with everyone at Park Academy Football Club on the loss of their general manager, Mr. Stephen Appiah. So this is the man, a brand that say, or tini compete chini officer, he's doing what he does best. Osha say so, or part to say, Appiah's untimely death is seen as a major loss to football in the Ashanti region and Ghana as a whole. His influence on the growth of the game and the countless young athletes he supported will not be forgotten. So now they are saying, Obia people are eulogizing him near the Antoshaha. This is the picture. Say Park Academy General Manager Stephen Appiah confirmed dead in Kumasi. So people are saying that this man's death, it is indeed a big blow. It is indeed a big blow to the national team, to the Ghanaian Football Association, to everything about football. And this is the man in question. He was definitely young. Or yare and you didn't call for noche. We never know what we see yet. But all of a sudden, Russian didn't call what we are learning is didn't call and say but nevertheless, in all of this, Stephen Appiah, name so BlackStars he is alive. I'm a video and Saka patch say as this whole thing was announced, unfortunately for us, Stephen Appiah name on the your life it's Akwatia award come speech I know so among forecast by pay what to Spanish to Italy to Ghana to Chile to French and there be incredible near Stephen Appiah. In the alive Stephen Appiah na true bakwewu akabako yenko share bra alive Stephen Appiah, another Stephen Appiah who happen to be alive or they furnace and same tuja.
I must say I'm very humbled for this great recognition. For me, I owe it to God because He blessed me with a talent, and more importantly, He blessed me with people who aided and influenced my career in so many ways. I would like to thank the founder of my coach team, Mighty Victory, the coaches, the executives, and my friends who I played with from under 12, under 14, and under 17. To Atago, who took care of me during my coach days, who bought my first football shoes, I say, God bless you. To Nea Ibonte II, Bese Manche, thank you so much. You guided me, you gave me shelter, You built my first house. Ni inke aiko. To my senior man, Gago Mohammed, I traveled to Italy, a guy from Choco, who doesn't know anything about the weather, who doesn't know anything about the spaghetti, who doesn't know anything about the salads, who doesn't know anything about the pizzas. Yes, I was doing so well when I was playing for Accra Suffolk. Yes, there was a scout who came down to scout Stephen Appiah. I got the chance, I traveled to Italy. But there's this special person who made everything possible, who is Gago Mohammed. Mimo, you still don't understand. Anytime I see you, I bow. I bow because I appreciate what you have done in my life. I quite remember we played, I was with the genocide. I haven't signed my contract yet. We played a friendly game, the senior side against Stromgrass from Austria. They started the game, 80th minute, Gago Mohammed faked an injury for me to have the chance and have the feel of the game. I came in 10 minutes to the end of the game. I scored a goal from 25 yards. The next day I saw myself in the newspapers and I called Gago Mohammed. I said, there is an article about me. So I called him. He said, okay, come to the house. I took a bus. I went to the house. And he said, the coach said, chiudete la porta e non fallo scappare. Close the door and don't let him run away. After 2 days, I signed my first international contract. To my wife, who is not here with me, I say thank you so much for taking very good care of me, which you are still doing. And I promise you that in our 80s, we will still be winning. Thank you so much.
So that was a year Stephen Appiah. Me no say, you know, I can confirm on authority say a yes, Stephen Appiah, you know. It is he's alive. Just say issues are any num in from memo. Just say echo BBS says Stephen Appiah. There are two. Okay, so this is the Stephen Appiah. Me no say no on kind home. Ewatias for us. It's not the one we just watched, but this particular one, or no so or your team members are, or no so are contributing so much to a year the whole a year Ghana football fraternity. And today people are mourning him for a year the loss at AC. To Ghana. So this is exactly what is really going on. And if you are watching this video, the other Stephen Appiah name no who happened to be the BlackStars, the former BlackStars captain, no, a maestro, maestro. You know, I'm still having flashbacks of the 2006 World Cup, Ghana versus Germany, Charlie, and also 2010 World Cup, South Africa, Charlie, Stephen Appiah, man, Stephen Maestro Appiah. I say, okay, na I just say, on a penalty na as someone John MSC and also about the team. But Charlie, that is life. So that Maestro he's alive. Same be but or not the Otiase. So as someone John na sorry, Stephen Appiah na. We need the baby corner. What we can confirm on this particular platform is that and unfortunately this is the situation that is really happening. So once again, you are live on this particular platform. Or comment on this issue. What do you think about in some way do you think say these issues are what do you think about it? And also idea I will say Now, let's move on to this particular issue. Me no kase, you know, a friend is saying issue be about betuja. We all know the issue is see now no our Ridge Hospital. Ridge Hospital in sema a course so just say Ralph, who happened to be an activist. What you say? Say Ralph or call a rich hospital, no, or the camera of a phone, which, and according to him, he was very pissed off, shouting and going at the various nurses or more rich hospital. Ralph, the concern is saying, and there's a Ralph, the concern, something simple. What he was saying was that issues be eba na it is obi aba hospital ho say yenhwe nipa nya accident but no nipa de buy as a nurses no obi at na ha why yenhwe han. Now he was streaming live on TikTok, so people watched the video, but immediately after that police stormed the premises and break the whole confusion apart. But after that, an information about as a Ralph laying inside on the nurse and a be who national issue. Now a fair say Ralph and because CCTV footage they release a chess a Ralph and woman there was a verbal confrontation yet, but physical assault there they be. Secondly, almost set up a committee to investigate. Committee no investigate, almost lady na say na or CSI ya bono no, I'll make allegations or bandage a born in son, almost check X-ray. There was no fracture and there was no physical bruises. So basically, just a buy one, she was okay. But in some na the Ghana Midwife and Nurses Association parties, they have a video draft editing and as obo nurse some party say committee now from to make that video present, and if the committee doesn't call them, they will leak that video. Regardless, there's a new woman in the picture or no so didn't say say she's a nurse, okay? And aside from she being a nurse, as wakwa bridge me one near the idea to say odinjuma wo there's a common secret in this among nurses in this country, say they themselves don't trust themselves. And on one case, someone say Juma no mudi at the various hospitals, they are not doing a good job because omu so mumbi and omubusuini and so madofu bi ya near the omu hospital cry na omuni ho cry no muyem sure. Now I'm not going to put words into this particular lady's mouth. Yenko tie in some of non-custody too that when we come back we continue.
Dear Ghana nurses, let's be honest with ourselves. When our family members have to go to hospitals in places we don't work at, or they are admitted in hospitals that we are not working at, how do we feel? Even if we are working in that facility and we know somebody and the person comes to the hospital on the day that we are off, we panic. Am I lying? We panic. Or then we start calling other people to check on them for us. Why do we do that? There is a reason why we do that. Let us be honest with ourselves. The public does not have confidence in us. We ourselves, as nurses, we don't have confidence in ourselves. So when the public is complaining, there is a reason why they are complaining. In other jurisdictions, there is a process called fitness to practice hearing. And one of the pillars of that fitness to practice hearing is maintaining public confidence. They don't joke with public confidence because whether you like it or not, the public, they are your customers. So if the people don't have confidence in you, anytime they are around you, they'll be apprehensive. They'll be on the defense mode. And that is what is happening because the public doesn't have trust in us. And it is also because half of the time, we are not helping matters. I am not saying it is okay for what Ralph did, somebody to come into our facility and start shouting at us. But when people come into the facility and they are shouting and they are doing that, half of the time, they are not attacking nurses. They are complaining about the system. But once people complain about the system, nurses take offense. Sometimes they've not even mentioned the nurses. So somebody will come and say, if you go to so-and-so hospital, this is what happens. There are so many people who work in the hospital. But immediately nurses hear it, we make it our problem instead of allowing people to complain so that the stakeholders would investigate and put in the measures to solve the problems. We take over the fight and then we start fighting. Because if we want to be truthful to ourselves, our systems, our hospitals need a lot of overhauling. We need to fix a lot of things. When you are not on duty, and somebody you know goes to the hospital, you want to leave whatever you are doing and go with them. If your family member goes to another hospital, sometimes you go cry, you're even scared of telling them that, oh, I'm also a nurse, because you know how we behave. We know there are cracks. And look at this Next issue. For her to even allow herself to be used, I want to assume that it was she herself who came out and decided to say that she has a dislocation because Ralph assaulted her. Now the evidence has come to show that she doesn't have a dislocation. I am not saying it is okay to be assaulted, and I'm not saying she may probably not have been assaulted. It could be true. But she's a nurse, she's working in a hospital. That gauze that she used even to tie her hand and around her neck, it is problematic. In other jurisdiction, that is dishonesty. And you'll be penalized for it. In other jurisdiction, even if you take the bus and you don't pay and they catch you, it can affect your license. So please, let us do better. Let us do more to promote public trust. Because if the people trust what we do, the most arrogant professionals in healthcare are doctors. But people don't attack them the way they attack nurses. I have worked with very, very arrogant doctors who think they are God. They are very rude to nurses, to patients. But patients don't come out too. You know why? Because they have trust in them. They have trust in their skills. But as nurses, one, they don't have trust in our skills. Secondly, our actions don't promote public trust, like public confidence. Our actions does not encourage public confidence. And then as a whole union, you went to follow this girl and you were using that. Look at even some of the utterances of Dr. Tenkra. Like, hey, you people, if I say too much, you people will say that some of you nurses, when you travel abroad, you think you know better. We those who are stay by and we are killing ourselves for the system, you come and criticize us. So I will not criticize you.
So what this particular nurse said, no, advice and I say no reaction. So clearly, from what she's saying, you realize that she's not even in this country. But then the head and tail of all of this is simple. Or Pacha said, the lady was used by the system. Now, videos near me by and pass the lady, apparently she was holding an MPP flag. So Ralph when you said this is a force to reckon with. This is a person who has campaigned against Akufo-Addo. And so bet and if you watch the video, the lady was pointing Ralph banner leading actions. So say Mefa camera being Ralph so cars and maybe child because a higher public space. That was when the banter escalated. And the lady after the banter escalated that HSA reports by say Ralph attention and will be so clearly no anchebia and information about say Ralph Abuobi. Into Abuobi Sadia any a lady na the addiction lady bandage on the left hand. Addiction lady bandage on the right hand. Emma CCTV footage catches say Ralph Anfani Sankan. So clearly, among four parties that this lady allowed herself to be used by the system. System Ben American wants him, the evil system of the New Patriotic Party. And then the CCTV and investigations exonerated Ralph. Say Ralph went there, even though the real necessary Kasai and then Kamano. But the lady no want to sample. Now the Ghana Midwives and Nurse Association, so more parties said they have a video. They should drop the video at a Kasa Bebre. What you say? Now, if you are looking at it from a broader perspective too, the nurses in Ghana, in fact, say be phone lines and I say, oh, share comments and I'll call TikTok now. Share the comments are ever even and now me no say there's a lady on also there's a man on also a say or the yiro send ma me call hospital or that firm na nurses a trim akwaniaba. So these nurses no omo ewie SSR and omo kwa SSR they don't take the hard course in in people who are passionate about the science, the doctors, any other and omo science because they want to be doctors and nurses no. Omo ho ena ebi muso ho a tibonko nti okorokwa koye home cons dey nim say eduane noa ene adepam ene tie and die menka so omu hia panyo manka intimi sha atade intimi nto eduane intimi ndidi ni ade what you say but then obi wo ho a tibonko so oni any passion for nursing. Then what they do is straight away they go and they do home accounts or SHS. It's a home accounts any trebidi sa na any wenya BBCC sa or we are not their question nursing. So she's going to nursing because it creates a ready employment. onko ha ne ho for applications enko aban bi tua ne ka. Into ono na edwuma na wakoye. Number one, she's not there to work from her heart. She's not there because she wants the job. She's not there because she wants to work. She's there because a easy way to get money, a easy employment. Or 1 or 2 years to her. What the obeyane say? Obitima koji loan, obitima toka car, obi subitima bas. Oh, nurse is for the say obia awareness. Life will go on like that. But the people who are really passionate about the nursing work, no, omono de omo but to do na fake. And into core hospital now, we need to nurse or be 8 years in core public hospital. Why? Because the nurses there are fake. They will kill you. They are evil people. I go to private hospital. Fortunately for me, I can afford, and they give me better health care. Me core public hospital. The year, I vow never to go there. It's me, ma be oti ekrase. Ono ni sika. And I mean, maybe ono ejuma no ye no 1,000 cedis a month. Obisa no, how can they afford a public hospital? A public hospital before I do babe to pay sukrano abokabe 2,000 and over Ghana cedis. Into amuno moko public hospital. These evil nurses watch these poor patients and then treat them like they're a piece of rag. A bilie and a course Rachel. So in some the car quite big issue. I just say we need to look at this from the top bottom and also the bottom to the top. What you say, and then this particular nurse, she allowed herself to be used by the political opponent. And no any sema I just say Now let's move on to this particular issue. Akwatia is coming. I will see your friend is saying Mr. NS Yaukumi, who happened to be Akwatia MP. That's sorry, you know. In fact, Onunu one of the fresh devs which hitters this particular year ovu year and check and number 16 or musu year in buffer 16 we and check and that lumber way and check. You see, helicopter crash you see ye and check. And the wolf frost by Stephen Appiah on pack pack general manager division 1 on so we need the battle trust. In fact, some of us have been lost our family members, our fathers and so forth. So we need the back to back. Into a brand who are just on the 2025 and no. There's a Akwatia MP no, there will be a void. Now Akwatia MP no feel because Otias in the crown position no kuta no crown. Let's say they were contesting it in court. To be the infamous video by our parliament police for call some question because he had the injunction at to say he shouldn't show himself in a brandy. But unfortunately, brandy ODD and as a catcher and they say I said nakoma and ya and he didn't do hospital. Let's say we drip ye this in the sono. Yes, say Mojane the enco. They declared him dead. Almost check here and say a heart attack any insembebre. But you see, as the law of Ghana says, so new ne was say a friend is saying, yeah, buy election. Now buy election post need can buy. Nature say MPP 1 or muyi say umbedi papawe adia and as umbisi na name or no and not only this particular post came from Global Info Analytics. Now yeah, that's sorry and there's a twist. And trace for Friday is in say this particular thing if a Global Info Analytics or Ebano a patch said now even though initial MPP ni win no currently nipa o win sisiano your friends an NDC candidate and also fresh out of the box no esi din kitia on any cruise or mark storm MPP was thinking say helicopter crash ne see at Tamale North MP Mutala Kanwa or more edit statement by they are not going to contest. So they were thinking say NDC was also not going to contest. But NDC air patch said Mope crash said Munku John Dramani Mahama you better contest any seat in this country when it's by election. So clearly to say NDC for no they are smart and they are taking every opportunity. Whereas MPP for him said Tamale North omu winning to say boy you film. Now before I show you see the video on any boys or master me hono, let us put this particular post on the screens. Oshaha, what you are seeing on the screens, assume do MPP versus Bedu NDC. So these are the two people, the green, Bernard B. Bedu, or no candidate. Ojinemu ama the National Democratic Congress. So initially he was trailing behind Solomon K. Asumedu. Solomon K. Asumedu no. Ono ena now MPP etuni general so onsimuma MPP in terms of the whole parliamentary candidates no ono no lead first we see early polls are air party say he is now losing and Bernard B. Bedu ono na the old winning o share the whole screens no so 53% to 47%. So NDC ni no ena winning sisia na Musa Dankwa post on the buy and o chere mu say because currently the hottest your friend is saying poll campaign and I want more credible polls. No, forget about beneficing any idea. The credible poll mutimi predict elections correctly by the right figure. Global info analytics. Now, Musa Danko Dan or posti or say NDC's Bedu overtakes MPPs as Sumedu 3 days before the crucial polls for the main opposition in Akwatia. In Akwatia, Bedu's lead is propelled by voters who want development and SHS and tertiary voters who preferred Bedu by larger margin. So one more Akwatian air party say MPP DSO for so many years. We are not seeing any development. The school netie na ene John Dramani Mahama wa partner or teacher national cake na yenfa MPP ni for what? Tiasi yenfa MPP ni for what? Whereas ye the NDC ni ba ye chesika na ye benyebi ye rose ye benyebi ye gota na ye benyebi. So let us choose this person. And how many SHS students are already 18 years ekasa ye no. They said that they want the NDC candidate. One moment university say ye pe NDC candidate because or you be a bit ma development aba kronim or you be a bit ma fight against Galamsey. Osha says using the committed model, which is likely to be minimum vote for Bedu, the NDC candidate leads 53% and Asumedu of the MPP 47%. So if these particular, if anything, poll at a fee global info analytics, but if it is true, then it means say and I credible because usually on the post nearby there's a margin of error. But I think so I'll cut down on I'll share detailed reports on my website there will be that margin of error. But then if this is supposed, if the margin of error is low, then it means that the credibility here is high. So the margin of error in that part is okay. I didn't make no. There's a 2% chance say no cre. There's a 3% chance say no cre. So usually no cre no and the margin of error. So I say we need to see the margin of error to be precise. That this post no it is really going to come in. Now also who said when you have the large people a form a sample size into out of Appiah 20,000 voters and go for 2,000 from various groups and they be polls. So at the end of the day, anything can change even at the last minute. But regardless, send you can a year NDC a seeding kitia or ne a year then crop for my stormy ho. I just omuya campaign dig share. You were two omu said 2 something or say 180 something. I don't know. Main kai figure but still NDC for a party say here yen jamo kra NDC MPP yen jamo ye ne mo chia kopim time Yakupon or baby wiase. Now you go share this particular video because this particular video details a lot. What you say and it details a lot of the things are air coso. You go share a seeding kit and take on this issue. Yeba he's storming the avenue. Yeba yebetwa so.
Papa no ya dia ya kari na hwe. MPP ni a one no pre no kra no. Ono ni lawyer no onya asem a we ho no oba. No no akoka ma no wo court. Na obi a otimi kan wasem ma wo court. Ya se manenka akwatiafo nyina sem ma omo parliament ya. Wo si anu de metimi aka, wo metimi aka nka wasem ba zanka wa court ko kan. Anu nti adanse a wo ho ni se akinye bia ni ho. Say lawyer Bernard Bediako ena yasra no ngose hayi amabai me free ha wukwada na me kwa anya me nkwa na meko me demo MP ya to abama no fresh ebe free Akwatia ede na akwa akose speaker Abambagwe ensa aya tiesie na konwa asi ho enunti eyamoda yenyira mfadede ensambo eni oseyo emfansia ye Appiah akana ocheni assistant di the honorable asoso enunti ebe friend no Honorable Bernard Bediako.
Yeah. So that was a seeding kit. You could see very well say NDC. You see, I don't know the game and the master plan at NDC used to. But these people are not joking. Like seriously. Mema to Abama Akufo-Addo pen 2 times or so. But then this particular NDC administration, say a chess game, and I hear boy chess, say damn it, say a boss game now. MPP able 2D, NDC able 4D. Into the master plan of these people, I don't know. What I say? But clearly, it is so that is exactly what is AFN is what is really going on. Clearly, semi course right is no, Charlie, the way things they go, things will change. Things will change all of a sudden, and that is exactly what is really going on. So we live to see, because in a few days, this particular post can 17 this whole issue of the by-election it is a by-election at the end of the day who is going to win. And also there is an issue of there's an issue of the violence a course now your friend is Ablekuma elections it's a minute saying the MPP for so many break. Because as a friend is an Eastern region and Ashanti region, and also your most stronghold. In his NDC4, Eden Kofobekwa, almost almost full soldiers are Sebi almost meet you head on. Atia said, but then in summer a cosono, the Inina pe a simdri, the Inina pe yes, say a friend is saying Basa you'll be the encoso. Until at the end of this MPP ne baby near MPP should win. So NDC ne be win, NDC should win. So what I say, that is exactly what is going on. So once again, we are live. So share your bit to make a comment. You can bring in your comments now. Exactly your view on this, because I make this particular live we are 37 minutes into the whole life. Can edit to journal. Copy 2 hours and it is all share now battery or battery cool Mr. per power bank. Regardless, if you can't watch it right now, don't worry. There's always a friend is saying a time to rewatch it again, especially after this particular live comes in. So yeah, interest you bring your comments nibia with to Akujo or say, are you okay? How can you say unfortunately? Do you wish Stephen Appiah well, all known died? Are you really okay in my so Abraham make cancer Stephen Appiah Ibuno? Stephen Appiah me true no. The entire make unfortunately or unfortunately So okay, so Stephen Appiah we no. I say bakuna the main one knew we there, and I said the enemy knew we there a fortunate, which means I say nipa na we see no the fortunate. Say be obia eba here. So what I say, it's idea fortunate no to someone to is what unfortunate. So that was why the language of unfortunately ebemu. So and I'll call back to the language I use. I say fortunately or unfortunately. And it's say a fortunate man now forward there. Say you're unfortunate, so now I now forward there. So please, you should take note of that for me. Nobody is trying to offend is a wish Stephen Appiah dead. Ubiabewu and me am tea kramewu. We are no there. We are all time bound. So that is the issue. Currently, so please don't take offense to this particular issue. Once again, ubi to me a friend is saying. Ubi to make a comment Abba near share exactly what is really going on before you move to the FN is saying the second story. Yes. All right, so so once again we are live on this particular platform, Pinaxtv. So I will share yourself. You can also bring in your comments on this particular issue. Now, this man on the screens, now no update, okay, update no. We are telling you say Papai and Abranti I find the passing till screen. So he happen to be the YE boss at the Youth Employment Agency. Now annual review committee or any more parliament. So ye be sano what has it done so far near there? I don't know. The chairperson said we are basintili kasakweni niaje, even though said you need party and not be on any the same party. But he's been refined. Ne kasa sesa. The oyster no ye nema sesa. You see, and we're moving from our street hawk no to a public servant, and the way he's able to blend it But then we are talking about all of these things, no. A brand here, which is very significant. And once again, we all should watch out for Basinteli, because the future is the youth. Memo be and that I will say 70 and 68-year-old man be a Ghana. So any year it won't be possible. Actually, because this generation, we are not voting based on tribal politics. I didn't tell America, sir. Yeah, that's sorry. Yeah, this particular man, if any Basintili, why be a shocking a lot of people. There's a video I can share. But then the Youth Employment Agency, or by see a chrome the number of police here one is so. And let me give you a statistics, okay? Now me share your friend is saying Ghana say how many soldiers here were in case of war. Would you believe say that 33 million out of the whole country population here 33 million, no? Only 16,000 are military personnel. In Ghana, your military personnel is 16,000. That 16,000 is not even enough to fill a stadium of 45,000 people. Talking about our police too is substantially small. So Papa Iba and Oka says, see, in as much as intimiphobia and share police service because of certain criteria, no, you bit me and go bit my boa, and none of Basintele say, and Kanye will be a community police still a war. So Basintele, Eka say no, one more mu pay juma the youth employment near the yensha one more mu meeti the standard of health. Or meet my ye juma, near for mun share community police. Into that sorry ya, a branty acting for 2,000. Na sanko for 2,000 or 30 or mono or the omunina asha community police. If I talk about TikToker, their videos going from Navrongo North. All of these people have come down, they took part in the training, and today they are community police, they are helping the police, and gradually from community police you can upgrade and go to the police up and up, because in a safe baby. Now if I went to screen, say we ever share the picture and I go to on Rangasan. What share has say or say 12,000. I was even taking a friend is saying I was even talking about 2,000. It is not 2,000, it's 12,000. This guy is doing a great job. What am I say? Shall I say, mommy? Or say 12,000 of our gallant CPAs, community police, shall be deployed to support the police service within various districts. So, Sanana Mimi Tina America say 2,000. I omitted 10,000. So forgive me on that particular error. 12,000 police, community police personnel. Also, as part of our MOU, that's Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, they shall be the first point to call when police recruitment begins. These people will serve, the community police, based on their performance, based on their input, based on their output, based on their dedication. Now recruitment for police bar. It's several community police mono. You know the do's, you know the don'ts, you know how to put things. Into the so-called rap police one. It's like moving from JHS to SHS. It's the same thing, just a bit higher at SHS. Into it's a recruitment a bar. Out of these 12,000 community police, most of them will get it first. And I think that this is cool because it gives them a chance to serve at the lower level before they come up. Hence answer to us. So in addition, we've increased their salaries by 60%. Thanks His Excellency John Dramani. So I just say the salaries are not go for EFA. Say 500 cedis a month. They've increased it by 60%. Which means they should be taking almost, if anything, like 800 or 900 cedis. That is hypothetically, but they should be. Me also say almost salary will be around 900 cedis or 1,000 cedis. They increase it by 60%, which means community police grab it much 1,600, which is cool. Which is cool because it gives you a chance to survive. These 12,000 security community police, they could have been doing something bad, but then they are come to serve the nation. So that's a good thing. Now, let me show a picture. This particular picture should be hanged, okay, at the YEA. So these are the graduates. Look at the graduates. So this is a part of them. I just say with Basintele in the middle and our commissioner of police at the front ruler. This tells you say Abino Juma. Regardless, Basintele had something to say because in Semne Kosono, what he had what happened was he had opportunity during the inauguration of this particular 12,000 community police to talk and lay his vision, what he wants to do, what he's doing, and even how these people, they will be of support to the country. And I think fair enough, it's wise for us to also listen to him. Remember, I said, one moment really country, the youth like Basinteli. Fortunately, a ladies man, you could see somebody to your bar.
Thank you very much. My Honorable Minister, Lawyer George Opariado, the representative of the IGP, DCOP Blackoji, all commanding officers of the Ghana Police Service, directors and staff of the Youth Employment Agency, However, my role is to admonish you and to give you some words of encouragement. I remember 3 weeks ago when you reported, looking at the caliber of persons who had come for the shortlisting, I was wondering how you were going to complete your training, because I partly witnessed the training exercise of the first batch. And I remember I saw one of my brothers who in our palace we call Obolo. And I was wondering how Obolo was going to complete his training. Today, I saw Obolo marching. And all I could say was justice for Obolo. And I was impressed because I knew some level of discipline had been infused in you. And I saw my minister smiling. And then I was saying in my head, and for you Gen Zs who know the new term, I said, Atasa, Atasa. My brothers and sisters, my first advice to you is to respect the uniform you are wearing. It may not be black, but it is blue, and it is blue-black. And from blue-black, it depends on you. It could be black in some few years to come. And so today, I've decided to wear the regalia of the Chief Community Police Assistant. And I shall plead on the IGP to confer me with a title that would also give me commanding powers over you. Because even without the YEA and without the powers being conferred on me, I am already the platoon commander of the 5K men and the 3K women. My brothers and sisters, go out there and be disciplined. Go out there and let's help His Excellency John Dramani Mahama accomplish his 24-hour security agenda. That is what the police expect of you. And at the end of the day, if you read the memorandum of understanding that was signed between the YEA and the Ghana Police Service, we have stated that at the next recruitment, all of you who will be disciplined, who will meet the requirements of the Ghana Police Service, you shall be shortlisted into the Ghana Police Service. And that is the promise we have made. On this note, I urge you all that in the coming days, you will be posted to your duty posts. As the Chief Executive Officer of the Youth Employment Agency, I have made it a point that your salaries that will be paid to you will not be in arrears. It will be paid on monthly basis, so you could get your salaries and you could work and work hard for Mother Ghana. And so let me thank the Ghana Police Service for what I see here today. I don't need anyone to tell me that this is a mark of discipline, this is a mark of diligence, this is a mark of excellence that has been inculcated in you. And let me thank my Honorable Minister, for the dedication and the pressure. Let me use pressure on me every day to ensure that we get as many of you unemployed people out of the streets. And today, I am proud that this second batch adds on to the number to make it a total of 12,000 community police assistants that have been graduated into the Ghana Police Service. Together, this is the pathway towards building the Ghana we want. And so, let's thank the overall boss, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for giving us the pathway and giving us all what it takes and all what was needed to ensure that a day like this becomes a reality. I thank you all, my brothers and sisters. When you go out there, don't forget this last phrase, that you are there to ensure security. So if you hear care, you do care. And if you hear care, you do. Thank you very much, my brothers.
Let's give a round of applause.
So that was the refined gentleman, Ayeka say Basintele. As you can see, Ayeka, he's doing something a year of major significance. He's working. And one of the policies are, personally I'm happy and say I'm making it seem so clear. Oko YE page, Twitter. Or see, these are the short codes. These are the links for you to apply for a job. And you whom you know as they are working not just for the country, they are working for the people. And yes, you are selecting a particular political party being a debi. It is for the people. It is for the what? The people. And that's exactly what is going on. So, in some same way, definitely, it has received a loud applause from many people. People know, say, no, in same way, it's one of the things that should be emulated. Unfortunately, with the new patriotic party, apart from Kojo Opon Nkrumah, me personally, they be young person, be a woman, on also movies, but also NDC, you see, but the thing is, NDC, they push young people. You see, Basintele. You see Okudjota Blakwa. You see a friend is saying Akwatia or a friend Appiah or a friend is saying Ministry of Communication. The DBA and Sasha and Kratasi Mufani Din Embra. These are young people who are doing a very, very great job. I say also Osha was saying who said no Nehemiah the air coso. Now, moving on to this particular issue. Minoka say already 2028 elections in Yambaye. But then Bawumia is claiming a victory lap. Let me rephrase myself again. Already, okay. One thing I can say, even though Bawumia onye winning a year MPP for or more flag bearership praise election crown union decided so he's already claiming a victory lap. And he's very much firm and he believes so we need elections. No, I didn't America, sir, because and Dr. Bawumia or the Simbia Wako Tuja, as ansem no, the Aquaco Tujano, or Patcher say, in some yekano, I de bioka ni economic figures, ni intervention, ni programs, ni mano, e kamia kwa yese, NDC 4 ba, we say no, the policies no, and for so it was so. Now, don't take my word for it. Quickly, no, has said the ABR, we put evidence. So, young cop way if we are TV3 for her into TV3 for her Osha has this particular year away screens no sooner as you can see very well now say Bank of Ghana, IMF and even NDC kingpins now admitting I was right Bawumia. So Dr. Bawumia patch say they be all sorry when the fundamentals are weak. The CD or whatever will expose you. No, a baby be prediction center. No, a baby graph. Now I hear economic demand supply indices. Intina ye di THP se paid your back. Ghana problems in your best solve it. That was the idea. And the man 4 years. 4 years no. That was okay kakra. And I'm almost seeing some more another 4 years be 8 years. Still enough for the Ghana titia pansam. Ghana titia pansama or seeing some man and 12 so na Ghana for say. Fia. Ko. Juma Ben na obedi here 8 years since I'm 4 years and can 12 years. And I Ghana for boot. Ghana for boot, no. Papa is saying, Odi Onim 11 was mismanagement of course onim, suffering of course onim, no the onka. All of a sudden, Baumia ni moshe. The same Baumia is now coming to tell us, say, near money boni no mudi nano. Bank of Ghana, IMF, and even NDC for air cassette. Baumia as a economic messiah, no title, no, he deserves it. He deserves it. You read the way for 2 screens so. As a former vice president, Dr. Baumia believes he has been vindicated on several policy positions and initiatives he championed while in office. He noted that the Bank of Ghana, the International Monetary Fund, that's the IMF, and even senior figures within the opposition National Democratic Congress have now acknowledged that many of his earlier economic positions were right. Baumia Pacha say, you see, there's a saying because time vindicates. And emre it may be what will be who in so, but as time goes on, bet yes, a kaimi swapa na Sunday, ye wufufua. Any papa de papa who focus in nima any mommy yi adne kata so plates ne kata so kata asanka no so yi a obi hu aponche bi hu akokọ obi hu wele na media ba na me pia me de si me nima me kura media ne totopam 3 so muji kala bone me I was stubborn afi de me bie me de so akokọ nsa kitikiti me dwa na me come say ejuma be na papa we ya otimi di akọ be tensa be dwa na bibi omiti anyum bi ampedu nyum opa say you know unyia obeti ase ampedu na ampedu anyum bi say oya abofra no me ya abofra no me tama mi die no na me die mi din say go obra ni obra me obra anywhere o minye na say hey I want to be that kid and I'm fa akọ back because brave ni amani huni we die oh nye regardless Baumia Pacha said this particular story America no it is him. Why? Because all a while no he was the man with a big akoko. But yes, he knew the future and what he was seeing. But ne, yes, you say, hey, Baumia said, nah, some more can you no cray. In some banner Baumia party said, IMF for the Bank of Ghana, the World Bank. In some Baumia can the positions, the CD fiscal positions, everything Baumia said was right. So, addressing the New Patriotic Party supporters after filing in some nation forms to contest the party's flag bearer race on Thursday, August 28, Dr. Baumia said, all can be buried at, or say all can be, if anything, Mr. Remo, just a second. I can see well, so I think I'll see a call. The bigger one now. The Wuskin so no and Momafa and no. Okay, I'll say all that can be harried at me. Or say all that can be held at me. Say nemani na mitima twabam abome. I've already been attacked with. As the days go by, time has shown great vindication. The Bank of Ghana, the IMF, and even NDC kingpins are now admitting on many matters that Baumia was right. What more can they say of me now? Say, Mobit Maka say Baumia or your man Prusini, Baumia ye Niger, Fulanini. Because Baumia crowd 5 wives, Baumia and the crown, or you'll be on to me taking decisions on your own. Baumia, you're too soft. Baumia this, Baumia, also Mobit Maka san same na. But, Adia, Mobit Maka, I want to mean if you want to send some making the crown, say NDC phone penny for crack eka. Dr. Zakari explained the program was also, his comments come after First Deputy Governor of Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakari Mumuni, recently credited the central bank's gold purchase program with stabilizing the CD and easing inflation in recent months. Baumia Sama Okano, it is going to the recent in Sama, the First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakari Mumuni. Odibe tu just say, and on the central bank, just say they were leading initiative there, no. Niema omode ba say gold purchase say yen invest in gold ni intimi stabilize the economy no. Ni intimi easy pressure on the cedi no to make sure that the cedi will gain strength no. Or pass some interventions na Bawumia and as the previous administration almost say no and na boa ene ama dollar na akofo. And about me, I can once say, credit me, me catch them. In Japan, no, some inflation you need, some economic calculations. Why be that? Master, I don't come here. Dr. Sakari explained that the program also improved the country's credit profile from restricted default to B, with a stable outlook in June 2025, boosting investor confidence. He made these remarks at CNVERS 25, Africa's premier trade banking program in London, adding that the initiative also had contributed to a stable macroeconomic environment. They are still saying, these particular interventions on the buyer, it is really helping a lot, by a lot of margin. As I say, and next Ghana, you see, atiti niema so all you about for my Bawumia noa. BOD's gold purchase program launched in June 2021. It has said about Bawumia taking credits no. Bank of Ghana's gold purchase program, which was launched in June 2021. See, you need this man. June 2021, the people in power was the was the New Patriotic Party. And because say it, and MPP now say it. Evil pinners, evil. So, Bank of Ghana gold purchase, it was launched in June 2021, and in June 2021, shortly after COVID, the people in power was Dr. Bawumia, government, MPP government, and according to sources, Dr. Bawumia and this initiative, the gold purchase program, So, the BOG's gold purchase program was launched in June 2021. It was designed to build up Ghana's gold reserves and diversify the central bank's assets. It enables the BOG to buy gold from local mining firms in cities, reducing reliance on the US dollar and insulating the economy from global market shocks. Ghana gold reserves stood at 34.4 tons as of July. So this is a bit economical, but I mean, show me here. Country you want to save. Into country I will save, who save you be saving dollars. But then on said Trump ni trade war near the adintino sell $1,000 or not a dollar was 16 cedis previously, and net the whole trade imbalances no dollar na a week into say be $1,000 no it me to adhere tenor value ni bit man perform to 5, and we saw that the cedi even gained strength compared to the dollar. So who you see dollar now say can you are worth $1 billion $1 billion say dollar now who on the neighbor former basically say 1 billion bit to 10 houses. Now 1 billion can just buy 5 houses because the prices go up and the value of the dollar comes down. What am I say? So what countries usually do is that they almost savings and reserves. So most countries shore up their reserves. Maybe to my tomb be the niska. Adia omode shore up reserves no gold. Ebi musu oil near the ade. Into gold no na Ghana 2021 government take us okay. Let's do more gold. Now gold no yen ton fi wom galamsey for ne wom small scale mining. Ni yen fa gold into to. And a gold so actually the price of gold no it is more resistant to a global shocks because send a gold price and cost from back from $1 near the other. So Ghana have shore up it reserves with more gold. In this 2021 initiative, a dollar near the other form. Essence Ghana ye gold in timi ton gold no. Edi inye skadi share economy and no enabua and ama your currency no. It is a bit stable in this offense Trump whole trade war. Again, Gold for Oil initiative. Dr. Zakari further highlighted how the success of the gold purchase program paved the way for the Gold for Oil initiative. In Tibon said Gold for Oil initiative I can answer me. This particular Gold for Oil no number of me air party say koto oil la the dollar na koto. So that dollar ni koto no. The more you use the dollar, the more the country's own currency goes down. What am I say? Inti de bia use dollar. O currency say o money ni onyam. Inti essence yenti mi fa city enkoto oil in fi Russia. Anke we see use a foreign currency which is a friend is saying dollar no. Yen fa dollar enkoto Russia for oil. You be use gold. Inti be calculate the price of gold. Ni a convert your friend is saying the tons no to your friend you be convert it to the price of the tons to the dollars. So inti be 1 gold by $10,000, which means ebe mo be $100,000, ebe man be a 10 gold bars. Ebe man nipa be a 1 gold bar like $10,000. Never say man, say many pan 100,000. Ebe man 10 gold bars, which is basically like $100,000. So basically, that is it. Instead of us paying people in foreign currencies, you see the bebe from the gold for oil. What I say, and that too have helped. Into see, this scheme provides foreign exchange and gold to facilitate petroleum imports through government-to-government arrangement. He praised the program for securing petroleum imports at competitive prices, easing pressure on the forest market and stabilizing fuel price, helping to moderate transport costs and inflation. Basically, we said 19 years said $1 unya. So imagine say Ghana was see a tofu war. Akosumbo use to power ourselves. We need more dollars, and when there's demand for more dollars in the country, the dollars are not enough. The price of the dollar goes up against the city. But then this time around, we don't need dollars. We use gold. We are not using CDs. We are using dollars. So our currency is a bit stable. So all these initiatives, this is coming from a person, appointed, okay, as the first deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana by the NDC administration, and or party say like Mohammed Baumia's friend is saying, economic, ebwa. It is really helping according to him. So this is exactly what the Baumia administration, they are claiming credits for. Many people are saying it is indeed a very good directive. To say Ubia Eka wants them in this particular fall. So this is the situation. Of course, currently, Minoka say there are many more reactions on social media. People are reacting. And Kufu Bibri Eka wants them any idea. It is something that you say. A year, your friend is very interesting in someone's a. So you so, but answer about to us say also who say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Menukasi or Singapore, and then there are some interesting figures are Eba. These particular interesting figures are Eba. It has to do with the magic His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing. Your friend is saying Singapore, because that's sorry John Dramani Mahama, or the Ababe Tuja say, he's been able to secure an investment from Japan over $1 billion. In fact, you are even learning, say, aside from everything, Japanese, planning some set up automobile. Your friend is saying, Hyundai head office, Accra Hasi. So clearly, Utimu say there are many good things and a good deeds are Eba. Utimu say Mahames meeting all around the Asia near there, it is really bringing a whole lot of things. Because America for this year almost some of Africa sa omunyahe. It's some of Africa sa na say omunyashia. Then you see another some per se omudi omini the HB before from. Into omudi omini HB Ghana for any HB before ne there. Then say the any the Asia. Developing countries and developed countries like Japan and so into a whole NHS a whole lot of a year back to say the president of the Republic of Ghana wakushia Oriki investment. Now video a video of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama it is address your friend said the Singaporeans and Ghana for and I said the leaders of Singapore in a meeting and also no koye when yesika or the befi when ya investments when ya a whole lot of things among forecast say yes president meeting na okono obebe fie no anhwa combine no obeba na it say when ya be $1 billion ebe brupo because Japan in kwa pledge $1 billion you should know exactly say there will be a lot of money ebe fee system ni more than aba. So in a moment if I will share some of the things a course so during the president's recent visit to your friend is in Singapore, and some of the dialogues he had with the leaders of Singapore, some of the developments he is projecting, and I say he wants it to come. So these are basic things are so we'll be watching this video very soon. Definitely this will be our last video, but then there will more updates are ever in subsequent videos. But then you can share exactly what really went on when President John Dramani Mahama I just say okupimu Singapore.
said he made all this happen after we met in Accra last year. And I'm pleased that it's my first state visit since I became president. And I believe a lot of things are going to come out of it in terms of Ghana-Singapore relations. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, honorable ministers, businessmen, I'm honored to address you on this last day of my state visit to Singapore. Singapore is a beacon of excellence in transforming strategic infrastructure into national competitiveness. Ghana views Singapore as a partner whose discipline, innovation, and long-term thinking aligns with our own aspirations. Today, I invite you to join us in a practical partnership to accelerate Ghana's infrastructure for economic transformation, and through Ghana to help shape the next chapter of growth across West Africa under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. And the question you ask is, why Ghana and why now? We're a regional hub, and Accra hosts the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat and is developing the logistics, standards, and digital infrastructure to serve a market of about 1.4 billion people with over USD 3.4 trillion gross domestic product. Therefore, using Ghana as a hub, you can efficiently and competitively reach an ECOWAS market of over 400 million people in a shorter time frame. We're pursuing a reform path with predictability. We're strengthening macro stability and fiscal discipline. We're modernizing our revenue systems and applying clear rules-based frameworks for public-private partnerships and private capital. We've amended our public procurement law and streamlined approvals under the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act to provide fast and transparent pathways for investment. Under my leadership, Ghana will be a trusted, open, and reliable investment partner. To give effect to this vision, I've directed the Attorney General and the Minister of Finance to lay before Parliament two landmark bills: the revised GIPC bill and the legal framework establishing the 24-hour Economy Authority. In the revised act, we have included the most favored nation status, and I'm sure Singapore will qualify for MFN. The most favored nation treatment, fair and equitable treatment, and investment facilitation to make Ghana one of the most business-friendly destinations on the continent. These reforms are not just legal instruments, they are a statement of our commitment to building a dynamic, inclusive, and globally competitive economy. Ghana is a pro-enterprise state under my administration, and we're simplifying permits, we're digitizing our customs, we're de-risking bankable projects through viability gap funding, government support, and mega-backed guarantees, while ensuring the repatriation of profits and foreign exchange convertibility. Ghana boasts a young and skilled workforce. Our investment in TVET, STEM, and digital skills are tailored to industry's needs, from advanced manufacturing and agri-tech to power systems and data centers. Automotive and e-mobile assembly, just a minute. Our proposition to you today is clear. Ghana offers market access, a stable and reform-oriented environment, and a pipeline of bankable projects in manufacturing, agribusiness, and infrastructure, ready for investment with defined risk mitigation and credible partners. So what are the priority sectors and the bankable opportunities? The first is under manufacturing and industrial platforms. We have the Greater Accra Industrial Platform expansion, utilities and last-mile infrastructure to scale export-focused industrial parks at Tema and the Dawa industrial area. The second is opportunity for a utility services concession to build, own, operate warehousing and anchor manufacturing, pharma, packaging, and consumer goods. Incentives include benefits from free zones and accelerated capital allowances. The third is Ghana Pharma and Medical Supplies Initiative. There is a sterile fill finish and generics manufacturing cluster in Tema, which is co-located with cold chain logistics and supported by the Food and Drug Authority's strengthened regulatory framework. The fourth is the Automotive and E-Mobility Assembly, expansion of local assembly and components, manufacturing for buses, light commercial vehicles with a green mobility focus. Opportunities for smart fleet management, charging infrastructure and fare systems, integration, leveraging Singaporean mobility tech expertise. The next is under agribusiness and value addition. We have the Northern Ghana Irrigated Agro-Industrial Zone, which is a nucleus outgrower PPP across 20,000 hectares of land for rice, maize, and soya production, powered by solar pumping and precision irrigation. Components include on-farm infrastructure, storage and milling with a guaranteed offtake, blended finance available through Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, Afro-Exim Bank, with a build climate smart practice. The second is cashew and tree crops processing clusters, expansion of cashew share and cocoa value addition in Bono and Ashanti regions, deshelling butter, liquor, and other specialty products. Strategic partnerships with established traders and processors combined with access to AfCFTA rules of origin open up opportunities to tap into regional demand. The third is perishable cold chains and cargo hubs in Tamale, Kumasi, Accra. Temperature-controlled logistics packhouses and perishable cargo village linked to airport upgrades, an ideal play for Singaporean logistics operators and Changi-linked expertise. Then under core infrastructure and enablers, we have the Accra Urban Mobility, BRT and E-Bus PPPs, which is about a $150 to $180 million investment. Dedicated corridors, 200 e-buses, depots, and smart ticketing. Performance-based PPPs with availability payments and carbon credits upside. The second is power distribution efficiency and smart metering, a resource-based concession to cut technical and commercial losses of our state's utility, electricity utility. Roll out advanced metering infrastructure and strengthen feeders, backed by a tariff adjustment mechanism and partial risk guarantees. The next is renewable energy plus storage, 200 megawatts solar with battery storage in the northern part of the country to stabilize the grid and serve industrial loads. Bankable IPP structure with GIF, co-investment and standard PPAs. The next is the Takoradi Port expansion and inland logistics, dry bulk and container enhancements, plus inland container depots and rail-linked logistics. There's scope for PSA-style ports inland integration to reduce time and cost of transporting goods across the ECOWAS corridor. The fifth is prospects for partnership in shipbuilding and dry docking services at the Tema shipyard. And I was intrigued when she mentioned that she was in Ghana in 2013 to 2015 working on exactly this project. Well, the project is up and available again for partnership. The sixth is the Kotoka Cargo Village, PPP, which is a modern cargo terminal with farmer-grade cold chains and e-freight systems to position Accra as West Africa's preferred air cargo gateway. It includes a partnership to establish a new national airline. The seventh is Tier 3 and 4 data center near Accra, a 15 to 20 megawatt carrier neutral facility to anchor cloud, fintech, and enterprise demand opportunities for KEPAL data centers, SDT-type partners with renewable PPAs and heat management efficiencies. The eighth is urban and wastewater PPPs, modular energy efficient plants for Accra and other secondary cities, with viability gap funding and improving operation and maintenance performance standards. The ninth is development of a modern multi-use international convention center with hotel facilities as part of Ghana's new meeting incentives, conference exhibitions, MICE, and accelerated creative arts agenda. And then in mining, value can be added to critical minerals such as gold, lithium, manganese, and bauxite. And this includes the establishment of an integrated bauxite and aluminium industry in Ghana. Now, with financing, de-risking, and policy assurances, we're offering a predictable PPP framework, including competitive tenders or direct negotiations where justified, transparent approvals, standardized contracts, and step-in rights. Investment protection with robust legal recourse, arbitration options, and commitment to honoring contracts underpinned by our Resetting Ghana agenda. Additional guarantees against expropriation are contained in our laws. There are no restrictions on capital and profit repatriation in Ghana. For hard currency projects with export or hard currency linked revenues, dedicated escrows and liquidity support can be structured on a case-by-case basis. Free zones incentives are available for exporters, including accelerated depreciation, customs facilitation, and targeted VAT and duty exemptions on capital equipment. And then again, practical local content roadmaps focused on skills transfer and supplier development instead of red tape. So what are we asking for today from the Singaporean business community? Expressions of interest. You can submit your expressions of interest for the project pipelines we're presenting to our teams who have set up a deal room with a secure virtual data room. Simon and his team have set up a deal room, and so after this, any persons that are interested can go and have a discussion, an initial discussion in the build-up to investing in Ghana. You're going to leave today with direct points of contacts, access to data, and agreed upon next steps. The second is co-creation of solutions. We propose structuring ideas that lower life cycle costs and enhance bankability of projects. We are open to various payment models, including availability-based and blended finance, as well as outcome-based contracts. The next is partnership in capability. Bring your operating systems, your training programs, and your technology transfer. Ghana will match that commitment with predictable policy and expedited facilitation. An immediate and dedicated Ghana-Singapore deal team that will be co-led by Simon, the CEO of GIPC, and a designated senior executive from Enterprise Singapore would lead this process. Members of this team will include the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, the Public-Private Partnership Unit at the Ministry of Finance, key MDAs, and the Ghana High Commission in Singapore. The key performance indicators for the team is to deliver at least $100 million in new investment pipeline commitments within the next 12 months. And coming from my meeting with Olam have already committed $200 million over the next 4 years. And so I'm asking Simon and his team and SBF and our partners here to give us a 100-day action plan. Within 14 days, the GIPC, its implementing agencies will share project data packs, draft term sheets, and available de-risking instruments for shortlisted investors who will enter the deal room. Within 45 days from today, we'll arrange technical workshops on power, logistics, and industrial platforms, as well as an introduction of off-takers, regulators, and local financiers. And within the next 100 days, Site visits will take place in Ghana, and initial expressions of interest will be converted into non-binding term sheets. A high-level Ghana-Singapore business mission will be held in Accra with a visit to key project sites within the next 12 months, 1 year. This will include a focus deal summit hosted by GIPC and Enterprise Singapore to finalize MOUs and close priority transactions. I've also directed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, and the GIPC to facilitate a one-stop investor facilitation desk at the High Commission to handle permits and regulatory clarifications. This will fast-track approvals for projects incubated through this dialogue. It was a roundtable, it's now a dialogue. Our agenda is centered on growth, inclusion, and sustainability. Each industrial platform and infrastructure project is designed with local content development and technical training to create jobs, especially for young people and women. We're aligning with a just energy transition, expanding renewables and efficiency while ensuring reliable base load power for industry. Urban mobility, water and waste treatment solutions will be low carbon and resilient. And in all these, we will nurture Ghanaian suppliers, especially our young, innovative, and digitally inclined youth to plug into your value chains, raising quality and competitiveness. Singapore has demonstrated to the world what ambition, clarity, and execution can accomplish in a single generation. Ghana stands at a similar point of inflection, and we're determined to convert infrastructure into productivity, logistics into market